Darlings, brace yourselves because this year is bringing pressure, compression, crisis energy. It's going to push people hard. Just like tectonic plates grinding against each other, there's massive friction in consciousness through our physical state. The whole world shows us that egos of dominant nations, built through aggression and manipulation, are falling. So everyone with a strong need to manipulate is going through a brutal collapse. From parents all the way to entities, not just the political ones. And it's a kind of compression where one group will be those who need to manipulate. And watch out, we want people who manipulate and we want to be manipulated. That doesn't mean we all mini manipulate, but it doesn't mean something's wrong. It's an inevitable evolutionary process, detox, cultivation of humanity. Now there's more brutal pressure, more brutal intimidation, dishonoring, threatening, not just on the visible physical conscious level, but mainly in the subconscious. The last century is repeating itself when any disagreement with ideology was punished. It's a kind of witch hunt. This social pressure is repeating itself. And now it's not just about not judging or stopping judging what's happening, but the crucial thing is to endure it emotionally, to avoid emotional swings, anxieties, fears. It's important to be prepared, yes, but to be prepared calmly and not with a catastrophic outlook. It's important that we realize one thing. Now illusions are falling more crushingly than ever before. And I'm not talking about the pyramid level from the middle down. That means the poor middle class and weak social class who are manifesting as broken, so to speak. Now we're talking about the so-called pyramid from the middle up. The illusion of dominance, the illusion of success, the illusion of predestination. This kind of illusion that I'm somebody, I'm predestined, I'm dominant, is falling at all levels, falling brutally. And it's only just beginning, and real characters will come out, darlings, real ones. The illusory ones that we're able to hold on to in periods of calm, of peace, are ending. Calm as such is ending. The last century is repeating itself exactly. If you look closely at the last century in Europe, what was happening? It's the same vibration, the same energies from the same nations toward the same nations, and the behavior of all nations as they behaved in the last century is repeating itself. And in its own way, with karmic impact. Those who were driven out are returning. Those who were dishonored, eliminated, returned to those who eliminated and dishonored them. It's important to notice how people will go more and more crazy. Inevitably, at all levels, because when the ordinary social weak class, the illusion of weakness falls, everyone's used to it. When the so-called dominant elite begins to collapse, everyone trembles, absolutely everyone. And everyone, absolutely everyone, is prevented from holding on to a certain power of illusion. Illusion as such isn't completely destroyed or made impossible to create, but the power of that illusion is weakened. This will drive people crazy. everything, because the entire physical world is a created illusion, a physical illusion whose foundation is to cover fear, disbelief in yourself, fear of facing nothingness. So everything on the physical level, everything you show off with, everything you display, how you dress, what state you're in, from tattoos to who knows what. All this alternative approach to success, to an alternative life, the emotions it gave you are completely gone, excuse my language. And you'll feel it in people who cling to that positive mindset. I'm different, I'm better, I'm special. All these illusions are falling apart, darlings, and you'll feel a very powerful emotional collapse from these people. It's important not to underestimate it. It will hit everyone like a tsunami. Like a tsunami. Except this tsunami will be psychological. And of course, the economic, food, and energy crisis, which is inevitable, darlings, is designed so people focus on this physical pressure, this physical crisis, and don't face the void. They'll threaten themselves. Humanity threatens itself. We can, of course, delude ourselves, make excuses. It's so common. Blame the elites, blame nations. But darlings, we're merely puppets. We're merely puppets. And even those so-called dominant players are just puppets moving according to humanity's collective unconscious. And even humanity and its unconscious and the power of that unconscious is laughable compared to the planet, compared to space. We're really just puppets, very laughable ones. So stop blaming any elites whatsoever. Stop wanting to be saved by other elites, rescuers, saviors, because no one will ever save anyone. And every so-called good deed is deservedly punished. Why? Because that doing good and train your emotions. Train yourself for the fact that people around you will be in very strong emotional swings, and these emotional swings will have a damn powerful effect on you. And if you don't train resilience, emotional resilience, ergo maturity, ergo disruption of hierarchical thinking, then you have no chance of escaping the avalanche. No one escapes the avalanche. But it's about whether you'll be standing in the middle of the avalanche with your worldview or at the edge of the avalanche. That's a damn big difference. So train. Disrupt hierarchical thinking as much as possible. Prepare naturally for the crisis without horror scenarios. And most importantly, realize that humans are self-destructive and it's not by accident. Humans use self-destruction to avoid confronting nothingness. When humanity reaches a certain level of material comfort, it causes people to start feeling more of a sense of emptiness. Because the more illusory power someone feels they have, the greater the sense of powerlessness they experience. Because They realize, pardon me, that they're absolutely nothing in the universe. But the universe is already too big a word. Compared to the planet, they're nothing. Nothing. They have no control over the planet whatsoever, not the slightest influence on the planet. Train youngsters while there's still time and while conditions are somewhat favorable. They'll get worse. They'll inevitably get worse. And they'll get worse because people will use it to truly not feel. Train youngsters, you've got what it takes.